What, you may not have known the distinction that this store received with Ford and Lincoln this year. We received the President's Award for 2023 for Ford for the 5th year in a row. We also received it for Lincoln for the first year. And I tell you, those awards don't come easily. It all boils down to taking care of the customers and having the vehicles you want in stock for you to buy.
The following is a paid program and does not necessarily reflect the views of WSIC.
Welcome to Community Centered, a show that features people in the community doing good things. Now, here are your hosts, Debbie O'Handley and Margi Kyle.
Welcome, welcome. You're listening to Community Centered. I'm your host, Debbie O'Handley, with my friend Margi Kyle. Hi, friend. How are you?
I am good. How are you?
Happy Tuesday.
Thank you.
Are you getting ready for Turkey Day?
I am. All I have to do is make the gravy.
Well, how did you get out of the whole production of it all?
You know, you got to learn to make a bad Thanksgiving dinner once, and they're never asked again.
Then you're pegged for life. You know, my husband does a turkey for Hope House every year. So we did it Sunday. We did a 23-pound
how
turkey.
lovely.
Yeah, smoked. And they loved it. We had a really good time. So.
I have an early Christmas present for you.
Okay, do tell.
To get you in the spirit.
Oh, thank you. That's so awesome. You see my socks? That's very cool. What do they say? Cool Yule. Very nice. Thank you, Margi.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. That's very cool. So in your family, do you have any traditions for Thanksgiving?
Other than just eating and enjoying and being grateful for everything that we
Any
have.
special foods that are kind of different?
Well,
that
my
your
daughter-in-law's from Portugal.
Oh,
So she does turkey very differently.
I bet.
Yeah. And my son's a gourmet cook. So between the two of them, it's just such a special,
I bet.
yeah,
I bet
and
you have.
artichokes and
Very different.
yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, we do something in our family where at everybody's place, there's a little handful of popcorn, dried corn, and each of them represents a blessing. And so throughout the meal,
beautiful.
you drop a corn into the center bowl representing your blessing. And you can say it out loud, or you can be quiet, or you can have a son like mine, Patrick, who dumps the whole handful in and says, I'm done. I'm just happy. There. Happy Thanksgiving. But year after year, we reuse the corn over
Yeah.
and over.
Oh,
So
that's
we're
a
reusing.
lovely idea.
Yeah, it kind of makes it a little interactive.
Yes, yeah.
Something going on. So
Well, this year we have Marlene's cousin coming with their two children, 2 and 4 years old. So,
oh yay!
so that'll
You'll be
fun.
drinking early this year. I see. That's awesome.
Uh,
Well, I know our listeners, if they're driving and they're stuck in their car on Wiskataba or on Sanford,
oh, the traffic is unbelievable.
it is pretty bad. We want to wish everybody a happy, blessed Thanksgiving. And
Happy
if
and
they have a
healthy.
question during this next hour that they want to call in, they can always call the studio.
Right.
And we would be happy to hear from them. Joburg is sitting, waiting to answer their calls. I know when they find out who our guests are today, they might have a couple of
I
questions.
think they will have a lot of questions.
I think so too.
Yeah.
So we're here to learn and to celebrate and to find out what they've been up to. So
Well, we had our family Thanksgiving Zoom
okay.
on Saturday night. 3 hours.
Oh, okay. What does that look like?
Well, grandmother had 9 children.
Okay.
And so they've all remained very close. And these are all the kids.
Lovely.
And it's fun.
There's still some good things that we learned over
Yeah.
COVID,
Oh,
isn't
yeah.
there? Where
Zoom
we can
was
connect
fun.
with Zoom. Yeah.
But it was funny at the end, one of Lee's cousins said, "What did you all think about the election?" And 3 people hung up.
Oopsie. Probably shouldn't go there.
And I said, "You know what? You guys live in Canada. I don't talk about your elections."
Do Canadians celebrate Thanksgiving?
Early.
Early.
It's
Okay.
yes, it was about a month ago.
Do they?
Oh,
And
yeah.
turkey and the
Mhm.
whole?
Oh,
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
Yep.
I just thought that was an American tradition. How did I
Well,
know?
half of us are in the States now, and half of us are still in Canada. So
Okay. Nice.
this was our Thanksgiving Zoom.
So that's a nice way to stay connected.
It's lovely.
Good.
Yeah, it's lovely.
One of the benefits.
Yeah.
Another one of the good things that we can say
Yeah.
about COVID. I think
Yeah.
maybe that's the only thing good that we can say
Yeah.
about it. So what else is going on? What's going on with Little Smiles?
We are giving out tons of toys.
I bet you are.
And our guest is going to help us bring some toys in.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Has anybody from like the Western
Yes,
Carolina area? You
yes.
have. Okay.
I went to when I was at Rotary last week and I spoke.
Okay.
The gentleman before, they stand around and they put in their dollar and they say why they're grateful. And he said, I'm short $3,000 and I need, I think it was 60 toys. And I said, you're talking to the right person.
Wow.
60 won't even put a dent in our storage
That's
units.
amazing.
And I'm still waiting for you to come with some children.
Yeah, we got contacted by someone with a NASCAR affiliation who said she gets pallets of toys. And I said, no, you send them up to Western Carolina or contact Margi. We don't need pallets of toys. Our kids need a bed. That's what they need.
Yeah.
So,
Are you in need of a bed?
No, not right now. Well, when we get ready to open the new builds, we can talk about that at some point. But I have so much furniture being stored all over the place waiting for these new builds to be finished. And we're getting there. We got all the granite countertops went in last week, all the electricals in. We're getting ready. We're getting very ready. Yeah, landscaping and concrete goes next, and then a road. Then once we put the road in.
And our guest next week is Chris Smiley from White House Gardens.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. That's lovely.
So
we are whipping through this hour already. I can see Joe Berg kind of giving us the look there, like, hey, what's happening over there? But I wanted to know, with this is obviously your busy season. How many folks do you think you're helping out during this season, other than just what you're doing for the hospitals?
And actually, Christmas isn't our busiest. We're busy all the time.
Yeah, sure.
Because we're Christmas every day.
Sure.
But we average between 100 and 500 children a month.
Wow.
But I know right now, because of what's going on, double it.
Okay.
Just double it.
Yeah.
And I mean, I can't stand the thought of a child hurting.
I know. I hear you.
Whether
Absolutely.
it's Christmas or not.
Yeah.
So if we don't have it in those storage units, I will go buy it.
I was curious at the impact of what was happening with, what our friends in the mountains and what they're going through. So thank you for doing that. That warms my heart to know that those kids will have a little bit of Christmas.
I hope so.
And I know with our guests today, we're going to learn about how they're going to make a little bit of Christmas happen here.
Starting early.
I can see that. You are dressed totally appropriately. What does your tie say there? Born to be merry.
That's right. Welcome back. I am thrilled to be sitting here with Colin Furcht and George Brinzey. Did I say that correctly?
Yes, ma'am, you did.
Okay. You have been with us since day one, have you not?
I think when Colin signaled that he was wanting to do this, we were front and center there to support him.
Okay. Now, Colin, you are the founder,
yes, ma'am,
the creator of the boat parade.
Mm-hmm.
And I cannot tell you how proud we are to be part of that.
Thank you.
Our children really, really appreciate it, as do we. And you've been going strong for 6 years.
This is year 6.
Yeah.
Year 6.
You
took a year off for
You
COVID,
took
but
a year off, yeah.
Right. But yes,
Now, why did you get started? And how did you get started?
I love this story. So November of 2018,
Okay.
a bunch of friends and I decided we wanted to do some kind of boat parade, light up the boats. I'm up near Holiday Marina. We were just going to put a couple of boats in the water and do a little putt-putt around. And it turned into a Facebook event, which turned into 10,000 people liking it. And I freaked out and went to the mayor, Mayor Washam, and I said, I have a problem. We're going to have a lot of folks in a very small spot. What do I do? And he connected me with the chief at the time, was Chief Black, and Parks and Rec, and it just kind of snowballed into connections. And within a month, we were able to put the first one on, and it went off without a hitch, pretty much.
It did.
And everybody, a week later was upset that they didn't hear about it, and how do we do this again? So that's kind of really how it began.
And I'm going to ask Joe if he can run that video while we're talking, and we'll just keep talking.
Yeah.
So how many boats did you have on the first one?
I think we only had about 15.
That's right.
It
Now
wasn't-
you're up to almost 40.
Over 30. Yeah, we had over 30 last year.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so obviously one of the main things we wanted to do I know you're throwing me a softball, was how do we make this a community event and give back?
Yes.
And Woody also said to me, it would be great to contact Margie and let's get some toys to Little Smiles.
Yeah.
And so that was a great conversation. I'll remember that forever, to say, hey, we have this thing. We're going to have a lot of folks coming out. We'll make them bring a toy. And then that's really where it started. So
Yeah.
that was great. And then, to George's point, getting the Lake Patrol engaged and the rest of the town engaged to say, hey, this is not something you can just do. You really need to get some help. And so it was a team effort.
Well, and I love the fact when the kids come, and a lot of kids do, and they see the police there, and they can have another positive experience.
100%.
And, that we chatted last year quite a bit. The good that it's bringing to everybody on different levels.
Yeah.
Even the nurses came and they just said, that was so much fun.
Well, there's really not a lot of winter events for the lake.
Yeah.
Right? There's plenty of stuff to do in the summer, obviously. And I think after Labor Day, everyone thinks the lake shuts down. And this was an
and the
easy
yacht
decision.
club did have a Christmas boat parade, but it was strictly just in that area.
Right. So there was 3. Ours was the third one. And Northern Lights did theirs up north of the 150 bridge in Mooresville. And then the Peninsula did theirs the second weekend. But to your point, it was really just for
That's right,
folks
yeah.
that were part of the club. And then we did ours the whole southern part of the lake, which was on purpose. We wanted to make it more encompassing. So we start at Blythe Landing, we go to Ramsey Creek, now we go to the Peninsula, and then we end up at the Explorium.
Yeah.
And so those open public areas are really what makes it what it is.
Tell us the dates.
So it's Saturday, December 21st. We will start at 5:30,
Okay.
which is basically sunset
At Blythe.
at Blythe Landing. And we'll slow roll up to Ramsey, take about 30 minutes or so.
Yeah.
We'll slow roll up to the Peninsula, and then we'll end up in the Duke Explorium Cove probably around 7:15
Yeah.
if we do it right. And so, and George's team really leads the charge. So I'm sure you want to kind of talk what that takes.
That sounds like a zigzag.
Yep.
It is, but it's a great event for us to be a part of. I mean, it's that police community
Yes.
partnership that we strive
Yes.
to build and foster. And when Colin invited us to be a part of it, it obviously made sense to bolster up safety and security, and all the towboat companies and the fire department, everybody lumps together and makes sure that things go smooth. I guess the technical term for this would be smooth sailing.
Yeah. Yes.
But again, it's one of the easiest events that we do. I enjoy coming in, generally bring my family and my girls, and we go out and just look at all the boats and make sure we don't hit anything expensive. So,
Is there any room to maybe have a child that's staying at Ronald McDonald House to come with a nurse?
I think there would be a willingness for a particular captain to take. There is a liability
That
concern.
I wondered about that.
Because people always ask, can I just get on someone's boat?
Yeah.
And we can certainly have that conversation off air. I mean, if there's really somebody, I'm sure.
Well, I
somebody
don't
could do
know,
that.
but I thought
Yeah.
if there was, what a beautiful gift.
Yeah, and maybe they don't get on a boat that's in the parade. Maybe we get them
Get
onto
the-
a boat that's just kind of sitting in a
Yeah,
cove somewhere.
yeah.
Because it's really a long time. It's 2 hours in the potential cold.
That's true. That's
on a
true.
boat. So I don't want to discourage engagement with the kids, but I don't know that they'd want to be in the parade that whole time.
Yeah.
It's hard for my crew. I'm covered. I'm in a cruiser, but there's folks out there in pontoon boats,
Yeah.
with hand warmers in their pockets.
Yeah.
But maybe even just to go on your boat, just to see it.
Before it starts.
yeah, I'm sure the chief would not mind that at all.
Okay.
Yeah, we're we try to go above and beyond and get people out on the water.
And it might not be a child that's, sick. It may be one of the siblings.
Sure.
Yeah.
Because they are always looking for, or I'm always looking for fun things for them to do.
All we would need is a parent guardian
Yes.
to sign a waiver.
Yeah, that's right.
A release of liability, and
Yeah.
we can work something out.
Okay.
I'm sure.
I think that would be an added touch.
No, and it's just for the kids, but it's also, I'm finding it's the whole Charlotte community.
Yeah.
I get emails and messages on the event page from folks. I joke about this all the time, from Virginia, and they somehow find out about it and they want to drive down and see the parade.
Wow.
Somebody wanted to bring their boat, and I said, sure. There's no reason why you can't.
That's right.
The fact that it's becoming something that everybody
Yeah.
is waiting for every year.
Yes.
I think that really makes it worth it for all of us. Frankly, it's not a lot of work. And this, we have a couple of phone calls in July, and then we do one, a few weeks before, and we get it all worked out. But that day is it's stressful for me, to be honest, because
it has to
I
be.
want to make sure it's safe.
Yes.
And that's really one
Yeah.
of the main things why I'm grateful that, Georgia and the team
That's
are there,
right.
and the tow teams are there. It's dark. It's
Yeah.
cold. Most folks are not used to driving their boat at night like that.
Right.
You don't know what's in front of you other than the boat, hopefully, that you're
That's
following.
right.
And so there's a lot of trust that goes on that the folks are just doing what they're supposed to do. And
Yeah.
knock on wood, we've never had an issue.
So
And
if
we're
I
not going to have any issues.
if I'm a boat owner and I'm moored at, say, Preston at the lake, am I coming from there and meeting over at Blythe to begin the parade, and then I'll be given directions on
Yes.
where to line up and how to do this?
Yeah.
And okay,
We send out a captain's package
okay,
beforehand, which is all of the rules, I guess we'll say, and expectations, safety, what channel we're going to be on the radio,
Okay.
things like that. And then we ask for a registration form of your vessel, all of your registration information, and then we call them souls on board.
yep,
And so this way, if there is an issue, when we're going to that vessel, we know how many folks to look for if there is a problem.
Yeah.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Because we don't want there to be a blemish on this, right?
Right.
And again, we've worked that out so well that they come over before we start. They let us know what boat they are. We give them a number,
Okay,
so we know boat number 3 is this boat,
Yeah.
and then
gotcha.
they line up.
Are you gonna go? Are you gonna join?
I don't know.
Look, give your husband something to do.
I know. That's
Why
what I was thinking. I taking notes.
You just have to
Taking
decorate
notes.
it. That's all.
That's right.
That's the hardest part of the event, is decorating the boat. Good grief.
Yeah.
It really is. And you'll
That's
see from
kind
the video, some folks really do it right.
Yeah.
I put some lights
Oh my
around and that's
gosh.
it. But they
Oh,
really
I've
put
seen
some.
some when you cross over the causeway that have got like blow ups on their boat and big lights and stuff.
Have they shown the video?
I don't.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
been playing.
I think you
Okay,
said it's
good.
been playing.
Oh, it just really is.
Can we do a best boat award this year?
Guess we could.
Oh, that
figure
would
that
be
out.
fun.
I don't know if we'd have a prize.
We could come up with something.
Yeah, that could be kind of
Me and
fun.
Yeah.
That would be fun.
So I mean, I'm sure we could figure out a way to do that.
That would
and
be
I know
fun.
the Peninsula did that, and they picked the best decorated boat. I guess they gave them a champagne bottle or something. I don't know what it was, but we could figure that out. That
Yeah.
would certainly make it more interesting.
I think that would
Sure.
be fun.
Yeah, and maybe we put a poll up on the page. We might not know that day, but we'll do
Yeah.
something on the event page.
Yeah. So we
Okay.
need to get some judges.
All right, I need to take some notes. Apparently, I thought we had this locked down. Now we have another.
No,
activity.
just listen to
You're
this
adding
again.
Another component. That's
Another
amazing.
level of complexity. To
Yes.
Why
busy
not?
Colin
You,
Furcht.
you said it's getting easier, so let's just.
It's
Muddy
easier
the
because it
water.
works, right?
And
That's what-
speaking of muddy water, how is the lake these days?
Much better.
Much better?
Lake North is an amazing ecosystem, and a lot of runoff issues. Folks were really worried about getting in the water, and I think early on with the water being warmer, the temperatures being hotter, we got some rain, some cooler temperatures, and I think we're in
And
a
you
much better
just
position.
jumped into the lake again.
I did. I do it all the time.
Just go jump in the lake.
There's no way.
I know.
I grew up on this lake, so I've got something for it. So.
Yeah, there you go. That's awesome. Well, I think we're getting ready to go on another break here.
We
The time
are.
always
I
flies
know.
whenever we have fun here. And when we come back, again, if you have questions about the parade or about the lake, you can always call 844-STUDIO-4. Joe Berg is waiting to take your calls. I see him hands on the phone, just waiting to answer. When we come back from break, we will be visiting with Colin and giving us more details on the parade. I'm thinking people might have questions on what kind of toys, how do I dress?
Okay, that's
what's
a good
happening?
question.
Is Santa going to be
There's
there?
going to be a lot on that one, sure.
That's
Yeah.
all that good
Yeah.
stuff. So when we come back, and
Yep.
shortly, we'll be hearing from them. Thank you.
Thank you.
there's still good in our community. It's Community Centered with Debbie O'Hanley and Margi Kyle on WSIC, presented by Macintosh Law.
Well, morning clouds and a couple of showers, but really not a very wet day of weather for our Tuesday. In fact, our sunshine's coming back for the afternoon. High temperatures going to get back into the mid and upper 60s for our Tuesday. We get cold tonight, though, as temperatures fall back under a mostly clear sky into the upper 30s. Low 60s and sunny for your Wednesday, but keep an eye on the chance for scattered rain, which may impact some of your plans on Thanksgiving Day. We'll keep you posted. That's your forecast for the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
Febreze. As a rideshare driver, I love keeping my car smelling fresh and clean. So when I'm driving, I only trust Febreze car vent clips, featuring 3 distinct intensity settings, because it's that little touch that sets me apart. I can turn the intensity down for subtle freshness, or I can turn it up for when I want lots of scent. So whether it's set to low, medium, or high, with Febreze car, I know my car's going to smell amazing. Which keeps my driver rating right where it belongs. Picking up, Oscar!
Our daughter Jessie loves playing detective.
A clue.
But since we discovered she has sensitive skin, we've been playing detective too.
We thought the problem was our puppy.
But it was actually our old detergent.
Aha.
So we switched to Tide Free and Gentle. Tide cleans better than the leading competitive free detergent, and it doesn't leave behind irritating residues.
Plus, Tide Free and Gentle has no dyes or perfumes, so it's gentle on her skin.
Case closed.
If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide Free and Gentle.
Family, quality, value. With a legacy of excellence for over 40 years, Horn Heating and Air Conditioning will make your house feel like a home. Welcome home to the feeling of HornHVAC.com.
Prioritizing your health is one of the best ways to take care of yourself. From routine visits to the joys of pregnancy to the illnesses that stop you in your tracks, Iredell Health System will be by your side. Learn more at iredellhealth.org.
Bob McIntosh here with the McIntosh Law Firm in Davidson. Serving this community has been a collective passion of our law firm since 1997. We offer the quality legal services and results you would expect from a large downtown firm, but with a personal, community-focused approach right here at home. The McIntosh Law Firm, your local legal resource.
To learn more about the McIntosh Law Firm, visit McIntoshLawFirm.com.
Are you in constant pain, under constant stress? Just need a moment away? Repeat after me. Serenity Now Massage Therapy. SerenityNowMassageandWellness.com, with locations in Mooresville and Cornelius.
Nothing says wow like a gift from Harrison's. Get what they want and what they need thanks to our huge selection of work staples and Western favorites from Ariat, Carhartt, Wrangler, and more. And there's nothing merrier than a new pair of boots from Harrison's. Find us on Norman Station Boulevard in Mooresville.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. Federal Reserve officials are taking a cautious approach to interest rate cuts. That's the takeaway from the newly released minutes from their last meeting. They opted to lower the rates by a 0.25 percentage point at the meeting. Checking in with Wall Street, the Dow is wavering, going up or down a fraction. The S&P and NASDAQ both up 0.3%. Consumer confidence is up to the highest level in a year. The Conference Board's gauge of confidence rose 2.1% this month. That was in line with analyst estimates. The gauge of present conditions reached an 8-month high, and the measure of expectations for the next 6 months edged to an almost 3-year high. The home buying market is tipping more in the buyer's favor. According to S&P CoreLogic Case-Shiller, home price gains slowed in September. Prices were still 3.9% higher than a year ago, but the increase was smaller than the 4.3% rise we saw in August. I'm Nancy Lyons, Bloomberg Radio.
All community, all the time. Macintosh Law presents Community Centered on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC. Local starts here.
Welcome back to Community Centered. And you know, I almost forgot to give a shout out to the McIntosh Law Firm for their sponsorship.
Yes.
We love them. They are amazing attorneys in Davidson, and we want to thank them for the opportunity they provide for us to make hope happen with a smile.
That's right.
pretty cool stuff. So we were talking before the break about a couple of things. Tell us about the toys. What are you looking for, Colin?
Well, I'm going to pass that to Margie.
Margie, what are you looking for toys?
But we do collect at every viewing station.
Okay.
And then we will have some other opportunities we'll talk about later where people can drop those by. But Margie's the better one to answer what they need.
Well, if you're on a really tight budget, which some people really are, but they still want to come and see the boat parade, I cannot keep Uno in the storage unit.
Really?
Oh, everybody loves Uno. So even if you just bring one deck of cards, you've made one child happy.
Okay.
So, and as big as Legos, we go through Legos like candy, and dolls and stuffed animals and character blankets. We give bags to the hospital so that when the kids come in, they get a bag with a blanket, a stuffed animal, something to hold, and
Nice.
that type of thing. So we go through a ton of those
Okay.
blankets and stuffed animals all the time, and Legos and dolls.
Okay.
And also, the older girls love the kits to make jewelry
Okay.
and always looking for boys. They're hard to buy for, teenage boys.
Mm-hmm.
Footballs are hard to throw in the house.
Well, you can't. Yeah. We do get a lot of bikes, but mostly our kids in the hospital don't ride the bikes. But we switch it out with Toys or Tots, and they give us the equivalent in toys. And it just, our goal is to make kids happy.
Mm-hmm.
And if I do it through Neil and Toys for Tots or whatever, it doesn't matter.
And I think you told me once technology, right? That's a very
We
popular.
have a whole program
Okay.
where we keep kids connected. And cell phones, amazing the amount of kids that come in don't have a phone. And mom is working, has other kids, can't talk to her child in the hospital. I give them unlimited minutes because I want them to have the ability to call their family whenever they want to.
Mm-hmm. What do you think about like obviously these are going to be new toys that you want?
Yes,
donated,
they're all
yeah.
new.
Do people need to bring them wrapped?
No.
So unwrapped.
Well, unwrapped because we weed through the toys and select what the kids want.
Okay. And I'm assuming there'll be a right jolly old elf that will be at this party.
I think probably there'll be several.
Because
One will be Colin.
Colin could maybe do a stand-in.
Now I'm jolly old. Santa will be at the Duke Explorium.
Okay.
And so folks ask all the time, which location should they go to?
Yes.
And as I mentioned, it starts at Blythe, it goes to Ramsey, it's at the Peninsula, and then Duke. All three, or actually all four, are the public viewing areas.
Mhm.
But Blythe is the second largest, and then Duke would be the largest.
Yeah.
And there'll be food trucks there. We've got Donut Envy, and I wrote the other name, Wee Doggies, which is hot dogs and nachos. People love to eat and drink, while they're there. You can't bring anything into Duke. That's the only thing. No coolers,
Okay.
but you can bring chairs.
Yeah.
And it's huge.
Yeah.
That's where the symphony plays in
Yes.
the summertime.
Mhm.
Yes.
And so we get into that cove and we do a little twirl and yell and scream and hoot and holler, and it's a great old
Nice.
time.
It is fun. It is fun. I had a couple of kids come last year from Little Smiles, and they came with their nurses, and they just loved it.
Yeah.
Aw.
And we've got volunteers at every location that'll be collecting toys.
Okay.
We've got boxes and bags, and we'll be collecting them and then dropping them off at the storage unit on Sunday.
Okay.
I know Margie gave a list, but what I tell people is think about a child in the hospital. What would they want to have?
Yeah.
Bring them something that they can do while they're going through their treatments or
That's
whatever
right.
the issues are. Just make it simple. And to your point, it doesn't have to be, an $80
No.
gift or anything, just something quick
Yeah.
and easy.
Yeah.
And so we try our best to encourage that on our social media.
Mhm.
And then we'll have a QR code. And if you don't have a toy, you can certainly
That's
make
right.
a donation.
That's right. Well, cash is king.
There you go. I was going to let you say that.
So I'm thinking about, I have 15 children at Hope House right now, and they do get blessed at Christmas. But I'm also thinking about opportunities to teach them that when they get something, they should learn how to give things away as well. So maybe we could work out something where they can bring some toys.
And I do that a lot
Yeah.
with some of the kids that come in.
I think that would be a really nice give back and a way for them to
Yes.
understand that there are other children in need too.
Well, I know Jim Cooper from from hospice had a fit because I give them a huge garbage bag. And I said, you cannot leave till it's full. And Jim said, you're giving them too much. I said, just listen to the kids. And the one little gal was saying, I don't really want this, but I know my best friend who won't have any toys wants a doll so badly. That is such a teaching lesson right there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I think we'll figure something out.
Yeah.
I think that would be really nice to do that. I'm assuming it takes sponsors to throw this
There are
party
sponsors, but I would like to talk about the safety first. if that's
Okay, let's talk
We'll
safety.
kind of close out with that, and that's right up George's alley because he's been very instrumental in setting up the center, which I'm going to give him a second to talk about. But having the safety piece of this is really the critical point that I want everybody to kind of keep in mind. But I would like you to share how that all started, and we can kind of piggyback on that.
Yeah, the Joshua Murray Boating Safety and Education Center. It was actually named after a former Lake Patrol officer. He was actually my partner. Passed away a couple years ago from some trouble. It was just terrible. He left us too early. He was kind of the face of the lake.
Yeah.
Everybody knew him. Everybody loved him. Super duper popular on TikTok. He was Officer McFlurry. So anyway, we had the idea of opening up a boater safety center. We had the town of Cornelius, Mecklenburg County, and the Cornelius Police Department all agree that it was the thing to do, and it happened quick. So last year, or this year rather, we opened it up. We touched 400 people, kids, other law enforcement, first responders, a lot of commercial customers, commercial use folks, the rental boat and the charter boat folks. So, I mean, it's just an effort to build that safety culture around Lake Norman, which we desperately need because, again, Lake Norman is a new body of water, and folks move here to enjoy the lake. Some of the folks, majority of the folks, just don't have that baseline understanding of what it takes to be a safe boater. It's just like anything else. You really have to know what you're doing out there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, we have far too many preventable drownings. Almost every single drowning that I've worked over the last, over a decade have all been preventable if somebody would have been wearing a jacket. And that brings us to the point about, the parade. We're on a boat. You don't ever think about falling off a boat, and God forbid that would ever be a thing. But if you got a jacket on, it's like your seatbelt. It's the seatbelt of the water. You might fall in, you might get cold, but you'll come back.
That's right.
So that's all we strive to do is to have this amazing event and everybody get back to the dock safe.
Yes.
And Colin's done a great job of instituting those requirements and recommendations, and we're going to continue to have a good, safe, successful event.
So where is the Joshua Murray Center?
It's at the Waterfront Hall at Blythe Landing.
Okay.
It's not a big facility. We can hold anywhere from 15 to 20 people in the classroom. We've got a community room where folks can sit down and talk and solve all the Lake Norman problems. But again, we're trying to build a better system for next year and offer some more training. And we've got a great partnership with the United States Coast Guard Auxiliary. They just opened up their communication center in there, so they'll have a dedicated communication center to monitor all of Lake Norman for any.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, so it's a true community center.
Yes.
The community funded it. Elise and Cade Redmond with Float It Forward campaign, they saw some tragedy happen on the lake and actually did something about it, and they've been front and center since day one.
Wow.
And they're going to be our master of ceremonies.
Oh,
they're
how
gonna,
nice.
They're going to blow the horn to
Good.
start the parade this year. So
Are we going to have any media there?
We've reached out in the past.
I know.
Certainly, we're welcoming all of the local
Okay.
stations. Everyone's welcome to bring a camera. And we encourage folks that are watching, they could actually go live. They can post it on our page.
Have you talked to a certain radio show?
I think I need
that
to.
might need to be. They have a mobile truck now, just saying.
If somebody wants to find out more, is Facebook your Facebook?
There is a page and an event. So the
Okay.
Lake Norman Lighted Christmas Boat Parade
Okay.
is what they can search for. And then within that page is under the events would be this year's event.
Okay.
And there's a map, and then there's a lot of updates, and that would really be the suggested place to go. And then if there's captains that would like to participate in the event, they can email me at cbaycharlotte, CBAY Charlotte, @gmail.com.
Okay.
And I'll send them a captain's package, which will have the registration information.
Okay, good.
And then this way,
Good.
they pretty much have everything they need.
So if you have a question, don't hesitate to call in. We will be right back.
There's still good in our community. It's community centered with Debbie O'Hanley and Margi Kyle on WSIC, presented by Macintosh Law.
Well, morning clouds and a couple of showers, but really not a very wet day of weather for our Tuesday. In fact, our sunshine's coming back for the afternoon. High temperatures going to get back into the mid and upper 60s for our Tuesday. We get cold tonight, though, as temperatures fall back under a mostly clear sky into the upper 30s. Low 60s and sunny for your Wednesday, but keep an eye on the chance for scattered rain, which may impact some of your plans on Thanksgiving Day. We'll keep you posted. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
Here's your WSIC community calendar. This Saturday, Light Up Cornelius helps welcome in the holiday season with the annual Christmas tree lighting. Downtown Cornelius presents community group performances, children's activities, a sledding hill, a model train display, food, drinks, s'mores, and a visit from Santa and Mrs. Claus. Light Up Cornelius kicks off at 4 p.m. Saturday in downtown. The Cornelius holiday festivities continue on Sunday with Christmas in Cornelius. Join us at the Oak Street Mill from 1 p.m. to 6 for a festive afternoon filled with cheer and excitement, including local artisans and small business vendors, Christmas-themed inflatables and activities, local craft brews, ciders and food trucks, a Letters to Santa station, live music and performances, and a visit from Old St. Nick himself. Mark your calendars, get your shopping lists ready, and bring the whole family to Old Town this Sunday for Christmas in Cornelius. The Lincolnton Christmas Parade and tree lighting is this Sunday. The Candyland Parade rolls down Main Street at 4 p.m. Stay downtown after the parade for Santa House, carriage rides, holiday activities, and entertainment with the tree lighting ceremony at approximately 6 p.m. Visit lincolntonnc.org for parade entry forms, information, and details. Speedway Christmas at Charlotte Motor Speedway is happening now through Sunday, January 5th. The Holiday Light Show features more than 5 million lights on a 4-mile course through the oval, pit road, and infield. The show also has drive-in movies on the gigantic Speedway TV. Speedway Christmas tickets and information are available at charlottemotorspeedway.com. From our family to yours, WSIC wishes everyone a happy Thanksgiving. To keep up with all the events happening around the community and much more, including amazing local deals, download the WSIC News app today.
Call 844-STUDIO-4 now to join the Community Center discussion on 1059 100.7 WSIC. Presented by Macintosh Law.
Welcome back. Our final segment. I cannot believe where the time has gone.
It's amazing.
I love to talk about the boat parade. You had sponsorship that you wanted to maybe cover on this segment.
Absolutely. So there's not a lot of cost, I got to be honest, to do this, but it does help with covering some of the expenses we have.
Yeah.
And so two big ones. Amy Stein from Market Hero. She's a search firm, and she helps folks find the right opportunity. She's here in Cornelius.
Okay.
And so Market Hero is one of our sponsors. And then Carolina Cruising Charters is doing the drone coverage, which you've seen throughout the show.
Cool. Yeah.
And they'll be back again this year.
Oh, good.
So that's been real helpful to, get the word out as well, too, and just cover some of the expenses. We do have officers at the Duke Explorium that need to help with traffic.
Yes.
And, we need to cover them. And just some other little advertising stuff. So, we're not looking for the money. The money's really going to you, hopefully, from folks that are that don't donate on the toy side. Yeah. But it's important to get as many businesses engaged, even if they're not donating, just putting it out there on their pages, putting it in their window. That's really all we're looking to do is awareness right now.
Yeah.
This isn't something we're asking a whole lot of folks.
Well, the Boy Scouts used to help us quite a bit.
We had them the last few years. I know there's been some changes. And if anyone's listening, that's part of the new troops, that would be fantastic.
That's right.
I've not had good success this year getting connected with anybody.
Okay.
But yeah, and if it's not even the Boy Scouts, if there's a high school group that's looking
Mm-hmm.
to do a service
Okay.
project, or I don't know if anyone listening, their kids want to come help collect toys, we can certainly help with that. There's
Okay.
not a lot of time and effort that needs to happen. Really, once the parade gets to a certain location, that park is only open for 30 more minutes. And at that point, folks are leaving.
Yes.
So we're collecting toys on the way in or donations on the way in. And then, once it's done, they can go home or
Yeah.
just go to another spot.
Or go to the next spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
Because
meet
it's
at
fun
Duke.
to go to
Yeah.
Duke. It's fun to end up there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that's what I suggest to folks is you can pick any of the first three. That's great. But it would be easy to go from Blythe to Duke.
That's what I
So see
usually
it start
do.
and see
Yeah.
it finish. And then you're really getting the full effect.
Yeah.
Because by then, at the end, it's pitch black dark and you really get
And
the
when
the
those
view.
boats come around the corner, it is exciting.
Yeah. Yeah. And just to see, you can hear folks cheer.
Yeah.
Even though we're on the water and
Yeah.
we're a couple hundred yards away, you can hear them yelling and screaming, which is really exciting. I've never been in a parade in my life. I've never been on the fire truck and, been in town and doing all those things. But being part of it really is kind of cool.
Mm.
So,
Well, you have grown this into a really wonderful activity.
Yeah.
That's just taken over. I mean, I think the peninsula doesn't have theirs anymore.
well, we're
They're
a stop
part of
on there.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They came to us last year, actually, and
Yeah.
asked if they could just be a stop. It's a lot of work to get folks
Yeah.
to go to something and to advertise it and all that.
And to organize it
Yeah,
and
and
get it together.
to add that one spot, it added 30 minutes to the day, but that was nothing compared to how many more people we can touch
That's
with
right.
that. And then all of those folks from the peninsula are now able to join ours as well, which they were always able to do that. We weren't,
Yeah.
you didn't have to be
That's right.
from a certain part of the lake. And we do have folks from the north end of the lake that come down too. I give them a lot of extra credit.
Yeah.
That's a
Wow,
long
that's
haul.
good for
That is a
them.
long trip.
Yeah. But we really just want this to be a community event that folks look forward to every year. Obviously, we want to bring truckloads to you on Sunday of
Yeah.
toys. And if we can do this.
What a good lesson for all the kids that are out there, too.
Yeah.
There are children who are obviously deserving of Christmas as well.
Yeah. And this time of year, I think everybody thinks a little bit more
Yeah.
about that.
I do, too.
I know it's Christmas every day for you, with that. But I
Yeah.
think it's really critical to this time of year really stop and take some stock into how
Yes.
your life
Yeah.
is and what other people may or may not be able to do.
Yeah.
So it's an easy thing to do, really. Show up
Wait,
and drop
I
a toy.
have taken in foster kids over the years. And when we moved from San Francisco to Vancouver, I said to my kids, what do you want to do special this Christmas? We would like to have 2 foster kids for the day.
Wow.
And I thought, if I've done my work, I
Mhm.
just, that was payback.
Nice.
Because we had 2 children that had no place to go for Christmas. And it really taught my kids, to be grateful for what they have.
Lovely.
And that's the end result
Mm-hmm.
that I think.
Do a little good.
Yeah.
Right? Then what a great week with our grateful theme that we have going on to be thinking about doing something for others in our
Yes.
community,
Yeah.
and especially children who are going without.
And their
Marvelous.
siblings.
Yeah.
So,
Marvelous. Good work, Margie. That's
well,
a
I
whole
love
lot
it.
of smiles and a whole lot of hope happening. So I'm thrilled to hear that. I know I'm thinking, George, that there might be some people that, because I'm thinking of my neighborhood and we're all boaters and everything, and no one's taken their boats out since the hurricane because you've heard some stuff, right? Like this is happening or these ghost boats that were floating around. How can you reassure us that it's going to be safe and it's going to be fine? Obviously, you're out in the water, so you know, and you can give a testimony to that. So how are things?
The water quality is far better. I
Okay.
mean, Lake Norman in general is probably the cleanest lake in North Carolina. I mean, like I said, I've been swimming in it my entire life, and I've never had anything bad happen. Thank goodness. The debris, the floating
Mhm.
debris, that's all since beached or been removed.
Great.
Especially down south in our area here in Mecklenburg County, most of it was trapped up on the north end.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So just universal precautions, especially at low light. If you're out at night, you just have to decrease your speed, have somebody on the boat as a lookout, and just be careful. And always wear a life jacket, especially this time of year. If you're on the boat, you're probably not going to get it in the water. Absolutely wear a life jacket because that's what's going to bring you back to the dock.
That's right.
You literally will not drown if you have a life jacket.
Good advice.
So
Good to know, right?
Yeah.
Good to know. I know some people have been hesitant, so it's good to know that, you can get back out there because we still are having some beautiful days here.
Oh,
And,
gorgeous.
It's nice to have that opportunity to have the lake because that's why a lot of people are living here because of the lake. So
The last 3 years, it hasn't even really been that cold.
I know.
I don't remember actually one parade where it was so bad that we didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
Last year, there was more risk of the depth of the lake we were down several feet
right
where we were supposed to be. This year, last I checked, we were right on par where we're supposed to be. So from a safety perspective, I think encouraging other boaters to try it, know that you're going to be part of a group of boats. We mentioned Cornelius PD will be out there. Also, the fire boat. Iredell County sends a boat down.
So you can still take more people.
Oh, I would take folks that day.
Yeah.
If you show up at the starting point and you haven't given me a form, I'll give you one to fill out, and you can be in the parade. We wouldn't turn anybody away.
Okay.
But I would encourage folks to come out and be part of it. And if you don't want to be in the parade, you can still find a spot on the lake, and just don't be in the way, right? We don't want anybody in the way, but.
And folks that may come for the first time, I mean, it's a slow creep. We keep our speed just above idle, really slow, because if you go any faster, you create a big wake, and then that becomes, an issue for shoreline and everybody behind. So, it's about a 4, 5, 6 mile an hour crawl.
Yeah, and so that gives everybody on shore a good view of everything.
Yeah.
And when the tail comes around, we're the boat my boat's obviously the first, right behind the police boat, and there's nothing better than once we're really underway and just seeing how far back that last boat is.
I know.
And taking that picture and really going, wow, this is really something. So I would encourage folks to try it and just come out and put some lights on.
That's right.
Apparently we're doing a contest this year, which I didn't know about. But don't feel obligated to go crazy.
We can
go
get
crazy.
a trophy.
Go crazy.
We can get a trophy made.
Okay, we'll figure that out.
You can always pull something together.
She's
right,
already
Margi?
talking about trophies. It's a done deal.
Right. That's
You got
amazing. That's incredible. Well, what else do you need from us?
It's just I'm grateful to always have this opportunity to chat with you both, and thank you for letting us get the word out.
Yeah.
It's really just telling everybody. If you've listened, if you've seen it, I always say like and share our page. We're up to 4,000 or 5,000 likes or interesteds on the event right now, which isn't the 10,000 we had in the first year, which I find odd because we've done it. I think people just expect it now, and then when they see things on social media, they go, "Oh, okay," but they don't realize that something like this needs you to share with your neighbors and your friends and all that. That would be the only ask I would have of anybody that has seeing it.
Give us that name on Facebook to go to.
It's the Lake Norman Lighted Christmas Boat Parade.
Okay.
I probably should make that smaller, but I don't know how else to do that.
Nah, that's pretty cool. Colin, I remember a while ago meeting you with, I think it was the 100 Men Who Care here. You have always been doing something good in this community, and I want to congratulate you for that. A lot of people do a lot of talking, but you're one of those kind of people that just does it and moves in and makes an impact. And so from me, and I'm sure Margi and our listeners too, we want to thank you for what you make happen in our community. You're what we call a hope dealer. That's a good thing.
I appreciate that.
Is that okay?
We're going to
can I
get him
call
a
that?
T-shirt.
Yeah,
We're going to get him a T-shirt.
It says hope dealer.
But now he's a dealer.
Right? I mean, I don't think people realize when they have a good idea and they put it into action, and then the throwing a pebble in the lake, right? The ripples of what happens and the lives that you're touching of kids who might not necessarily have had a Christmas. And so I want to thank you, and I want to thank Margi.
Colin does it and then talks about it.
Yeah, and I think that's pretty significant. So thank you for doing that. And George, thank you for keeping us safe, keeping our lake clean, keeping everybody having a good time. I've seen some knuckleheads out there, so I know your job's not easy.
'Tis the season, I mean,
absolutely.
And if I can just close my piece with this, it's the end of the year, Christmas, crime stats go up historically. Walk with a purpose. Know where you're at. Always be aware. Be a hard target. Little crime prevention gospel goes a long way these days. So just we just pray that everybody stay safe.
Thank you.
Well,
we
thank you
appreciate
for what
that.
you do.
And everybody have a happy Thanksgiving.